Hello, it's Mark. Welcome to another whiskey review here in the big thicket of Southeast Texas. And today we have Peerless Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. So this, I've obviously had this before. And so anyway, the Peerless originally, they actually go back a long way. They originally operated as the Worsham Distilling Company. They began in Henderson, Kentucky in the early 1880s. In 1889, Peerless whiskey began to flourish under the leadership of entrepreneur Henry Crevelar. Crevelar wasted no time making upgrades to the machinery and investing in additional warehouses that eventually became federally bonded. That allowed them to be one of the places during Prohibition where they were still able to produce. You could get Peerless as with a prescription, so they didn't have to close during Prohibition. So they went from maybe 8 barrels a day to over 200 at their peak, and eventually they kind of had to close, and then some of the generations later they reopened under, I think they're on the 5th generation now, and so the new descendants opened in 2015, or the first in 2014. The first barrel was filled in 2015, which I think was a bourbon, and the first 2-year-old rye was bottled in 2017, followed by a 3-year-old in 2018. Now, I'm not sure how old this one is. Usually up here in the corner, it'll say 3-year-old rye. This does not say that, so this might be 2 years old. It is 54.7% ABV, Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. So, yeah. Anyway, what else can I tell you? They have a really high copper still, 26 feet tall, I believe. And what else? They have each batch is about 6 barrels per batch. So this is a small batch. So yeah, there's 6 barrels per batch. What else could I tell you? I think that's really probably about it. They have 6 fermentation tanks. So anyway, there it is in the bottle. There is the label. And the glass. I don't think they use color. I'm not 100% sure. Doesn't say anything, but I'll read what's on here. So, Peerless Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey, 54.7% ABV. In 1889, Henry Crevelar began crafting Peerless whiskey with a quality surpassed by none, standard that still defines our family business. Our non-chill filtered, strictly sweet mash delivers a rich and mellow taste you'll enjoy. So yes, this is not, they don't sour mash it and they sweet mash. They do have a lot of bourbons. They've won tons of awards for both their rye and their bourbon. I think they were in the top 15 or so for Whiskey of the Year. So yeah, I've obviously had quite a bit of this, so needed to go ahead and do this before I finish the bottle. Okay, I get mint, a lot of mint. I get the dill from a rye dill. Getting some licorice, but I like black licorice, so. Apricots. Vanilla, caramel, Smells great. All right, on to the palate. Wow. Spicy. Ooh, peppery. Brown sugar. Spearmint. Like really strong spearmint. Coats the tongue. I get some apple and some caramel. But that's really kind of the back. Really this spicy, peppery comes up front with some brown sugar. Yeah. So I guess, yeah, it doesn't give me a batch number, so I'm not sure, but spearmint, spicy and spearmint with some peppery brown sugar, little caramel on the nose. I'm getting some dill, citrus, apricots. If I had to put a fruit in there, I'd say it was apple with apricots, apple and apricots. It finishes quick. Kind of doesn't stay with me at all. Getting more caramel. Do get that mint though. Dill, some licorice. I don't get, what I don't get with it, I get with some other ryes. That vegetable note, I do not get that vegetable note. So, all right. Spicy cinnamon, spearmint, peppery, brown sugar. Really hits with a spice, but then goes more into a sweet with the brown sugar and some chocolate and caramel. But up front, it's that peppermint, or no, a spearmint and really spicy up front. But then really the finish is good with this brown sugar and chocolate, caramel. Wow. Really good, really good. I don't remember the cost of this. I don't think it was unreasonable, but unreasonable for me, may not be, maybe somebody else's ridiculousness, but so I would probably keep this on my shelf. So I'm gonna go with 8 out of 10. And thanks for giving it a view, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.